Hi, I'd like to take a look at the Reese bass sound that Kevin Saunderson made for the song Just Want Another Chance. There's an Instagram video where Saunderson shows how he made that sound on a CZ-3000, on a Casio CZ-3000. And I don't have a 3000, I have a Casio CZ-1, and I'm going to try and use his notes. I'm going to try what he shared in the Instagram video to approximate his sound on the CZ-1. So what I think is happening in his video is that he's starting from an organ sound and then he applies some changes. The best organ sound I could find in this synth was this Jazz Organ 2. And if you want to play the Reese bass, then this is too, or if you want to play the bass line from Just Want Another Chance, then this is too high. So let's take the octave down. And now we are already, now we can sort of play the song. But you notice how there's a click on the second note. And if you listen carefully to the song, there is no click. So that means that he's playing legato and the envelope is not triggering the second time. If we want that, we need to turn on solo mode and portamento on the CZ-1. And play the right notes. Okay, so that's just some things I noticed by listening that are not mentioned in the Instagram video, but that we need anyway. And that out of the things that he mentions that is most important, I think, is the detune. And he says to use the same octave and note value, but to set the fine value to 31. And I don't hear any detune. Why is that? That's because in this preset, the second oscillator is very quiet. So we need to make the second oscillator louder. This is not a problem on the CZ-3000, this is a problem we have on the CZ-1. So here we see that the level of the oscillator 2 is 8, oscillator 1 is 14, so let's make this louder. Let's make this also 14. We still can't hear it. That's because oscillator 2 is using velocity, which is unique to the Casio CZ-1. All the other CZ synths from Casio don't have velocity. Now we're getting closer. If we look at the amp envelope, we see that the first oscillator has sustain level 94, the second one has sustain level 97. That makes it quieter, so let's also put this on 94. Now we're really getting there. Already sounds pretty good to my ears. But there's something more he talks about, and I want to just take a look at that. He's talking about the oscillator waveforms. So to hear those, we need to listen to one oscillator at a time. Let me save here, so we can come back to this point. And then he says that on the first oscillator he uses waves 4 and 5. I don't hear a difference. So for this patch that I started from here, that doesn't matter. Also doesn't hurt. Okay, let's check out the second oscillator and save first. So this is set to first equals 3, second equals 4. This is still talking about the second oscillator. You can combine two waveforms in one oscillator in this synthesizer. And he says to use 4 then 3. Here's 3 then 4. Does it make a difference? No. Cool. Again, it doesn't make a difference because I'm starting from a different starting point than he started from. Then there's some pitch envelope. And I'm not really sure the sound needs it, but we can just see what happens. Let's go back to oscillator 1, and I'm going to save so we can compare before and after. So this is what came out of the Jazz Organ 2 preset. It's a 2-step envelope, and he says to use rate 57 and level 46, and I'm guessing he means step 1. Did that change anything? I hear slightly more pronounced pitch attack. The attack is a little brighter. So apparently we need, well, let's keep that. And move to the second oscillator. And save. And there he says the magic numbers are 76 and 57. We already have 57, so we only have to change the rate to 76. Let's compare. Again, a very subtle difference. Now both oscillators together again. Still sounds cool. I don't really know if this change was worth it, but let's keep it. And then what else does he mention? He says something about turning on glide. Maybe that works on the 3000. It doesn't work here because glide is a performance function, or they call it an effect in Casio speak. And if I switch on glide, then portamento goes off. And once portamento is off, I can no longer play legato. So if I play the two notes now, I get a click. I can only get rid of the click on the second note if I turn portamento on. But then I can't have glide. So no turning on glide for me. And then he talks about the mod wheel. Yeah, that's kind of like a taste thing. How much insane wobbling do you want? That's too much. I find it difficult to dial this in with the mod wheel. I think it's easier to go to the vibrato and set a fixed depth. There's already some vibrato. If we turn this up, we get this heavy thing. I think it was fine the way it was. Okay, let's save one more time. And that was it. It's a cool sound. So to recap what we did, I recalled the preset E2 Jazz Organ 2 on the CZ-1. I had to fix the level of the second oscillator because it had velocity. We had to turn off the velocity. We had to increase this level. We had to increase the sustain level. Changing the waveforms did nothing from my starting point. We set the detune. This is the most important thing, together with the levels, because this makes this big wobbling, unstable sound. And then we did some subtle things with the first step of the pitch envelopes that makes them a little brighter, but we probably also could have done without. And then you have this cool Reese bass sound. No, I'm not going to play it one more time. You get it. Thanks for watching.